This is video 212. It's about the action PATL, the action dots, and the action line. It's going to build a line list to tell it how to make a drawing. First, we're going to go to Info, go to the action PATL, because it'll explain what all the digits are for in the line list numbers. There are 8 digits in all. The first digit in a line list number is 0 if it's just making a straight line. For a circle, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and the circle is clockwise outward, counterclockwise outward, clockwise inward, or counterclockwise inward. It's a wave if it's a 5, 6, 7, or 8, and then follows these same 4 options. The second digit is for the size change. 0, the size of the segments don't change. 1 to 9, they do change. But you got to understand that if you're going outward, the change is to become bigger. Inward to become smaller. Here it shows the example of what it's doing. This particular one starts in the center and goes outward. The segment sizes of each is getting larger. That's why the circle is moving out. Whereas when it finishes over here, it starts out and goes inward, because as it curves around, each segment becomes smaller. Well, the third digit, actually third and fourth digit, are used for the position it is in when it starts. If it's at 0, that means it starts here and starts going either this way or upward. If it's at 12 here, it's either going around this way or it's going around down that way. Digit 5 and 6 are for the segment count. For instance, here, as it spirals out, there's 36 segments. Also here, when it spirals back in, there are 36 segments. Digits 7 and 8 are for the length of the segment. Alright, there's an example down here of the numbers that made this drawing. Well, let's go back and look at the routine. Here is a routine. There are only 2 line list numbers. Then it sets the position where it starts, X and Y, and then says PATL, which is pattern the line. It takes the line list here and makes a pattern out of it. Once something's a pattern, there's a lot of things can be done with it. Here it sets the color to a turquoise type color. Because it's a pattern, you can set the rotation, the size, the XY position of it, and here it makes the pattern into dots that can be used by line or by polyfill. First, it's going to be used by line. Well, line wants to know what the quill size is. How wide is the line going to be? Here it says it's going to be size 3. Now it adds 200 to X because it's going to also polyfill the same pattern. But you might ask, well, why couldn't it already did make the pattern? Yes, but if you just said down here polyfill, it would go on top of where it was before. So we changed the value of X, made it only 200. Up here it had been 400. And then we polyfill it. Well, Let's execute it. Here you can see the two cases of it. Here, when you said line, it just drew the lines. When you said polyfill, here are the lines. And because it's a polygon fill, it finishes the drawing by going from the ending point to the beginning point. Alright, that's the video 212.